Alright guys, welcome back to Game 2 for the SGMY Indonesia. I'm just gonna call it SGMYID League of Legends Qualifiers for the FSL Elite.
We could say Siam server.
I feel like Siam is gonna get people confused with
They're gonna think we're doing exactly.
So I'm gonna try and stay away from that. SGMYID should suffice for now. But we are into second game, of course. It's gonna be Callisto on the blue side and Asterisk on the red side. We are into picks and bans already. Surprisingly, Rumble actually made it through the pick and ban phase. So if Asterisk doesn't pick this one up, doesn't lock in the Rumble, I'll feel a bit cheated here. I think it really is a very strong pick though. Like in terms of what it provides to the team, even though there've been a couple of nerfs, like just do Jarvan Rumble here, you're completely fine. They changed the scrap shield, so you have like 20 less. Like I think your shield is less by like 20. Not 20%, like a flat 20 damage, right? So overall, you don't have as much value when it comes to defending damage, but still, the ability to consistently push mid and get prio is just unparalleled. And not to mention, your team fight impact nowadays with people understanding that 8 to 10 minute Rift Heralds are extremely important, and so are the early or at least late game Dragon fights. You can see the value of the Rumble pick up a lot more.
Yeah, we did see the Karthus hover over from Korn. Karthus, guys, we have been watching the new season. Karthus is totally a thing. It's not a cheese pick. I mean, well, that's debatable, but I mean, Karthus the pick is in the meta right now. It gives you a lot of potential for the team. However, they are going to swap it last minute to the Xayah as well as the Leona, trying to pick something versus the MF.
I think you take Braum here because then it opens up the Ornn entry draft. Basically, if there's Braum open, you feel very uncomfortable taking Ornn away. Mordekaiser here becomes a flex pick, so you could do that as well. And then you end up banning the Ornn. In general, when there's Ornn in the game, when there's Braum in the game, the Ornn loses a lot of value because you can block the Call of the Forge God. So I'm looking to see what they want to do. It seems as though Asterisk does have a set game plan. They understand the value of the Jarvan Misfortune, which we saw the previous game. Very easy to execute.
I thought that was going to be a pun. I was like, are they going to pick up set? They have a set game plan right here.
Well, not wrong.
But they went for the Mordekaiser already, so I mean, that's going to be their flex.
I'm just saying, you can flex it.
You can flex them both. Of course, I mean, it is Asterisk. We do expect to see a bit of style from them, I think, every single game that they play. I think this is probably one of the most highly anticipated games for today. Of course, here is just the game where the first time we see Asterisk playing this season. We're talking earlier in the previous game about how for FSL, a lot of the teams do end up shuffling their rosters around, or even if they keep the same members, they do shuffle positions. Asterisk, however, have kept the exact same roster for 3 solid years. So this is definitely a team. They know each other, they know their play style, and they've got a lot of wiggle room.
I'm not sure if you've remembered or touched on this, but the fact that they didn't play the previous
the qualifiers,
qualifiers.
They were busy in Korea representing our country, just casually in Korea playing another tourney.
The fact that they didn't play the previous one does give them a bit more time to reset. It's like the SG qualifiers did have, I think, top 10 dinos come in.
Yep,
and,
exactly.
Be the representatives. So like this time it's Asterisk coming back, looking to vie for the representative spot once more, as we see the Thresh being locked in for Claria here. I'm surprised that they didn't opt for the Braum instead, but of course you can imagine the matchup in the bot lane.
Yeah, MF Thresh is actually a bit of an odd bottom lane because it's not the sort of bot lane that you think synergizes automatically together. However, when you think of the 3v3, the Thresh comboed with the Jarvan potential, it becomes a lot stronger. And also and also when you think of the Thresh in terms of the team fights, in terms of the roams around the map, it is a very strong pickup. And it's going to be a Cass lock-in.
Cass is good. Cassidon is bad. Like Cassio's okay. Cassio's fine. Cassidon is like, you just don't. Just alternate F4. Oh, sorry guys, I lagged out. I picked the wrong champion. Can we remake,
That one letter makes all the difference.
Yeah, for real. Like.
Wait, I forgot how to spell Cass. Was it a C or a K, guys? Come help me out.
K.
Wait, where? Now, if you're Korean, I think it is the same.
There you go. Hallelujah.
Woo!
Yes.
Rumble, as you're saying, is so strong that even even Arkellic has been playing Rumble.
I would say playing as much as
I mean,
feeding around.
if you're
It's cool. It's cool.
if you're 2-12-0, are you still playing League of Legends,
it's okay.
or is League of Legends playing you?
It's bot difference is fine. It wasn't Dom's fault.
Yeah, Rumble is so strong. Even I think a lot of players who aren't traditionally the Rumble type of player. I mean, Candleburn, right? Candleburn's actually the exact same style of player that Arkellic is,
Yeah.
right? They play a Kali. They go for those assassin flashy plays, and I mean, Rumble right now, as we're saying, just so strong that even players who don't traditionally want to play
Yeah.
Rumble or like to play Rumble have to put it in their playstyle.
And the problem with, at least from my experience when you play Rumble in the mid lane, right, the tricky part is thinking about which keystone you're gonna go with and how you're gonna sort of formulate your game plan. So if you go for the sorcery tree, you end up taking Arcane Comet, Nullifying Orb with the Transcendent 10% as well as Scorch. Because there is double AP, this mid jungle is at least Cassiopeia. The Nullifying Orb has a lot of value, and your ability to trade with the Arcane Comet is actually pretty good as well, as long as you can get in range to land the flamethrower, yeah, which is essentially a flamethrower, right? But this composition, like I said earlier, the fact that they flex the Mordekaiser to top lane, now they're 1-4. When it comes to 1v1, Mordekaiser is just gonna pop off. It's fine, doesn't matter. The Jarvan, Rumble, and Misfortune triple threat, that's gonna be what wins them these fights.
There was that one game, I can't remember if it was LEC or LCK recently, where the J for their team lost so bad, and I saw this one tweet, and the tweet was just, "I see why there's no Jarvan the 5th."
Well, I think Jarvan today is gonna be like 100% win rate.
Yeah, I have to say the joke now because I don't think that that's going to happen this
Yeah.
game. I think that it's unlikely.
It's probably gonna be the most contested, highest. win rate
Exactly.
champion.
So I had to drop the joke now.
just before it ages like milk. You know? Yeah.
Ages
Smart
like
move.
yeah. I don't want to say the B word, the boomer word.
I'm
Bit of a sensitive topic for me.
yeah. Jenny's old, guys.
Hey, hey.
Looking at the compositions, we're talking about like the wombo combo ease of execution on the Asterisk side, which is something that they understand and they drafted pretty well.
Yeah,
The
it's
Callisto game plan is kind of tricky.
yeah. Actually, I was gonna say that for Asterisk as well, it is a bit tricky to execute just in terms of you have the it's very clearly split frontline backline. You've got the more J4 Thresh, they go in at the start, and then you've got the Rumba MF who ideally want to be in the back and laying down that very long range burn damage. So you really need good positioning for that to happen, because I mean if you miss your Rumba R or MFR, that's literally half your team's damage that's gonna be gone at that point. So just a bit tricky, but I think that Asterisk will pull it off.
The reason why I would have liked the Braum here is because having Braum next to the MF denies like 3 key DPS champions in this game, right? Your Cassiopeia's Twin Fangs will be blocked, Zaya's Feathers completely blocked, and they don't like go behind you. They disappear with when you put up the shield, right? And Elisa's Cocoon and all her threat just gets mitigated as well. So you think about what the Braum brings to the table. As long as Braum is positioning well, if they had drafted it, they would have cut down the Cassio as well as Zaya damage by like 70%. And then your margin for error becomes even smaller. Your ability to win team fights through execution. You don't have to make the perfect play. You just have to make less mistakes than them in that situation, right? Just wait for them to outplay themselves, essentially. And because it's Thresh, unless you can find the early advantages or make use of the roaming Thresh, I feel like the value of the Thresh compared to the Braum is that you are less defensive, but you have the ability to pick up early mobies and like hit the map. Because Cassio is immobile to a certain extent unless she has flash. If you can land a hook, mid lane is gonna convert like that, right? In top lane you could convert as well because Mordekaiser is really strong. But like there are ways for Thresh to make things happen on the map that Braum cannot. And whether Clara can materialize that, as it were, understand and communicate with a team, we'll see if they can get there.
Yeah, and I mean for the side of Callisto, as you're saying, that is tricky in terms of execution. I think any team that picks Cassiopeia is going to have that sort of tricky engage. It is a bit easier for them this time because they do have the Leona when she lands a very good slow or stun from the backline. It is going to enable the Cass, especially when she has that flash up, to go forward with the ultimate. But I mean, any team that picks Cass as well as that Elise is really just going to rely a lot on those cocoons. You have to make sure they land. I mean, Elise, the way you play your ganks is pretty much you land cocoon, you go in, you miss, you kind of walk back out in shame into the jungle. So there is definitely that tricky element.
If you're watching Summoning Insight, there's this latest episode where like Thorin and Monte Cristo are talking to Amazing and Prolly, and they're saying there's this like strategy, like cheese strategy going around a while back where you take Hex Flash on Elise, and then like level 1 or level 2 you just flash in your cocoon, right? And then they blow their flash to get out. You walk back into the brush, you channel Hex Flash, and then you cocoon again, and then you just snowball mid that way. And the guy's like, what's going on? Like, why does he have Hex Flash? Where's the cocoon coming from? And apparently that was a thing in like the LEC for a while. They're like practicing their cheese strat, and probably like, no, we're not learning this. This is nonsense. Like, this is so ridiculous.
Practicing the cheese strat. Why am I not surprised that LEC practiced this? Channel the Hex Flash in the bush, and then once they blow flash, you channel the Hex Flash.
It's hella funny that they actually thought of this. They're just like, this is really gonna work. It's gonna catch them off guard.
LEC boys. Well, I mean, you know, if you don't have skill, if you're not the top league in the world, you need to.
Alright, we are on to the Rift, and the good news is, like we did explain, Cannonburn did go for the common sort of runes and masteries that you expect. So she went for the Arcane Comet to trade, and then on top of that you do get the Nullifying Orb and the Domination Tree secondary, right? So you get Ultimate Hunter, which gives you cooldown reduction on your ultimate, as well as the Cheap Shot, which gives you true damage, bonus true damage on movement impaired targets, because Rumble is almost always gonna slow people with the Equalizer. That's a value play, and you want your ultimate up more often, so that's the second value play. Cannonburn is slated to take over this game as long as they know what's going, or at least they play. If they play around the mid 2v2s properly, they should be fine.
Screen froze for a second there. I was like, is that just me?
Jenny's like loading.
Wait, where's my coffee this morning?
She's like, I don't want to say this, but like,
don't say the boomer
Jenny's
word.
like Windows 95.
Excuse me? Wow. I thought we were friends.
Okay, Lustreless is going to be starting on the Rip buff. Chufan knows this, right? But I am so disgusted by Mordekaiser's leash because
Chufan Spoods, by the way.
Yeah,
all you guys watching.
This, and I think this is the most disgusting leash you can give your jungler. Because of the passive on the Darkness Rises, you do percentage max health damage over time. 140 is the clear on the Jarvan with a single leash from the top lane. The bot lane literally just got the lane only.
I'm so jealous. Where are these people in my solo queue games?
Push coming through. Clara with the range advantage actually will have the power to walk up and just auto the Leona away. And because it's level 1, right, you do expect the Thresh to take Flay, and Sense Blade is countered by Flay. Aya and Clara is always going to have the bot lane prio as long as they position properly, which is in this case. Thresh stands opposite Leona just in case you need to flay her out. Misfortune stands opposite Zyre to land the double up.
Yeah, Thresh versus Leona. You do have the better range as a Thresh. And also as the Thresh, the thing is, for Leona, you pretty much only have one direction and it's forward, whereas Thresh, you have the option of you land the hook, do you go in or not, do you back out? So there is that much more added flexibility that you do have as the MF and Thresh. I think both these AD carriers are really going to want to have that fancy footwork going down, really just kind of poke around the side, have good positioning with their skill shots. Pretty much.
Now look at this jungle difference right now. Level 3 already for Lustreless, level 2 still on Korn because she didn't path properly.
And the invade with the double buff.
She did go for Raptors, and remember that Raptors doesn't give as much EXP. Only now will she hit level 3 after taking the Grom. In fact, had she not taken the Raptors, she would have been level 3 anyway.
Actually looking like she's probably just, taking Scuttlecraft. Gonna get that extra vision over towards the top side. So she's gonna get some experience from this. However, her top laner is going to be Shen, and it's not really very useful. You don't really want to prioritize ganking for the Shen versus the Mordekaiser. But now it looks like
flash. Mid
pinging mid.
Yep. They're gonna look to blow the flash here as Flag and Drag is available. They will knock Cassiopeia up as the cocoon completely sails by. Dip managed to get the barrier there, so calmer hits prevail as Foxy will keep her flash up and get out of danger.
Yeah, pretty low on mana. Of course, it's kind of what happens as the cast, especially early on before you get tier, before you get the blue buff. Yep, she's not hitting the.
In a natural matchup, you actually don't run out of mana unless you're missing the E execute.
Unless, yep, you're not getting the last hit down.
How is she down on mana? Then I saw her not get the last hit. I was like, that
yep,
makes sense.
there's J4 recalling on the ward right there. Something we didn't touch on. I think Foxy
used to jungle.
Exactly, she used to jungle, so should be very confident, I think, about the jungle mid synergy, especially that together with the jungle timings. But Foxy role swapped back to mid. I think played a couple years of a jungle over on Team and Nitrous. Yep, if you guys been watching any of the previous seasons of FSL, I think Nitrous generally has a pretty good showing every season. Generally ends around like top 4 in most of the past splits. However, this season, it's entirely new roster, but led by Foxy Hook going to land. She's gonna walk out of that one, and it seems that they've picked up a couple of international players as well. I believe Korn is from the Philippines, and Vicky, their AD carry, is actually from Taiwan. Was part of the Taiwan Callisto lineup. Who played in Girl Gamer, which was the competition that Asterisk was at, which is why they missed out on the last season of FSL.
So
long history.
If you guys missed that, tune in the next hour for the repeat broadcast from Jenny. She's gonna be.
It's the Rarichu podcast at what time is it? 1:30 on your Saturday afternoon, guys. Thanks for tuning in.
That's a pretty good radio voice, actually. I think it's almost as though you do this for a living.
Almost as if this is my job.
Level 5 already has the Stalkers. Could look to solo this because they have a bit more control, but because the bot lane did back off, of course, there is no reinforcements coming in. If I were Lustrous right there, I just gamble, right? Because I knew my one backed off.
There are two different kinds of people. You are one and I am the other. I mean, I was messaging Lustrous good luck before this series. I was telling her, like, look, you don't need to do well. You just need to do less bad. Just not as bad as the other team.
You don't have to outplay your opponents. Just wait for them to outplay themselves. Oh, Hook missing. Foxy, very lucky there. But like we were saying,
yeah, Clara,
at the snap of a finger, they can make the gank happen. Just that Clara didn't connect the hook.
Yeah, I actually really like that because that ward just expired and they were just trying to maximize the usage. It was a very meta play, you know, where they know when the ward is going down to the last like 2 seconds. And so like you saw the roam from Clara at the Thursday, like, you know, our ward's gonna go down. What can we make out of like the last 5 seconds of this ward? So I like the fact that they tried that.
This is problematic right now. You count the amount of ranged minions, there's actually 5 of them, so it means that bot lane is going to be pushing out. You guess that Elise started rip-off because her bot lane leash for her, so an educated guess is going to put Elise on the bot half of the map, which is why I and Clara have to be very careful here. They need to play backwards and respect the fact that the gank can come in, but they spotted her on the ward behind the Dragon Pit, so they know this is a danger zone right now, have to back off.
J4 once again trying to make something happen over here on Foxy. Foxy is level 6. Oh, but did he just use her ultimate? I think we missed it as we had the camera down over onto the bot lane. I was just about to say cast all a bit like the
She might die here.
Okay, she's gonna walk out that one. Yeah, I was about to say that cast ult, a bit like the Orianna ult, where if you have more people ganking you, it's more useful because it actually hits multiple people. But right here, Korn, it's gonna take a big chunk of burn damage, forced to flash away as well. This is going to give the dragon priority straight over to Asterisk. You've got Dipcore waiting around behind the dragon pit. Has that ward, so it's not gonna spot out the dragon because they do have the pink ward. Yep, they have the control ward over there. But I mean, they're not dumb. They know that Asterisk is going for the dragon. Very good pickup from Asterisk.
That was a sick equalizer. They put the equalizer down parallel to the way that Korn had to walk to chunk her out and eventually blew her flash as well. Candleburn, though, having the gank assistance of Lustreless is going to be able to force the flash as well as stand united. So
yeah, that forced the stand united as well as the barrier coming out from Foxy, and that's going to be really dangerous for the next 3-4 minutes or so because Foxy down barrier and flash. That's an easily gankable cast over in the middle right here. Boozy life. Oh no, caught in the wrong spot. It's going to be able to make it dash over into the wolf pit, but that just means Asterisk is going to pick up the blue buff steal.
Remember in Champions Select we were saying, oh, well, Cassiopeia is a good pick, but she's very immobile. The problem is that there isn't enough preventive vision being put down in the mid lane to keep the Cassiopeia safe. Neither is Korn pathing around the mid lane. She's doing what I call solo queue jungling, where if she sees an opportunity, she will go for it, right? But she's not taking the steps to preemptively protect her laners. It's this like classic example of like what Smithy brings as a jungler. He's very good at watching and thinking where the opponent's going to be, so I can answer that. But all the younger, more aggressive junglers are just like, okay, I'm going to go to lane, I'm going to kill, I'm going to snowball this lane. That's all I'm going to do, right? And this is what Korn is doing. It's not paying off because Lustrous is experienced. She's like, if I hit mid, I don't have to make the kill happen. I just need to burn small advantages and get my laners ahead.
Zoomers, man. It's a classic Zoomers versus EXP play. Kids these days.
You can say that because you're like not really a kid.
You're not a kid either. Come on.
Hey man.
Hey, bruh. Bruh.
There was a time it was hungry kid, not hungry cast. So just gonna put that out there.
You're right.
Yeah, so.
I'm just waiting for the day that baby life grows up into adult life. You know, he gets it. Oh yeah, he has to go through NS life first. That's rough. And Korn, right here, I think we saw her take the scuttle in preparation to take the Shelly.
Very good timing on the Rift Herald. Traditionally, in other leagues, you would see the bot and support, the AD carry and support swap up to the top side to make sure that they can take this. Because there was not much vision on the top half from the side of Asterisk, there actually is no vision whatsoever.
Yeah, they've been focusing their vision over on the bottom side earlier on.
Yeah.
So it's actually pretty smart because you're saying it's, I mean, it might have looked a bit dangerous just because, you know, the cast has no flash, has no barrier, kind of thinking Lustreless might be pathing in that direction, but Callisto were able to make use of that very small window that Asterisk didn't have vision over on the top side to sneak this Shelly right now. Here, Korn waiting in the bush over in the top side. Don't think they want to make something happen onto Mayo right here.
In fact, you shouldn't be ganking the Shen lane because Shen is a global sort of impact champion, right? The value is in the Stand United.
Yeah, the advantage of Shen is you don't want to be in the Shen's lane. His biggest advantage is he will be in your lane when you need him to be there. So,
What Elise should be doing now is going to the bot lane and forcing a fight with the Leona as well as Xayah, and then have the reinforcements come in from the Shen, whose Stand United is going to be off cooldown in a couple of seconds. Immediately 4-man bot lane, pop Rift Herald, open up the bot lane and get the Xayah rolling.
Yeah, we're gonna spot out Lustreless making her way down towards bot. As you can see, Vicky1 as well as Decor, they know what's up. They're kind of playing a bit closer to their tower. They know that Asterisk have their jungler right there. And look at them trying to call for the assistance of a Korn on the Elise, but I think Asterisk spotted there are gonna be a 3v3.
Remember that Candleburn, it can walk down. They do have sort of matching mid prio, so all they have to do is just make sure that Candleburn doesn't walk down before the fight is over.
Yeah,
they have to end the fight before Candleburn gets there.
Yeah, both top laners also have their TP. This could be a huge fight about to break out.
You have to force it. They're looking for the hook. Will sail pass. There's a small window here for them to go back
Lustreless is spending so much time over here in the bot lane, though.
Which is fine. Korn is here as well. They're like pretty much, oh, that's a big double up. They could go in here. They could force right now if they want to. All inning the misfortune, using the cleanse, flashing away. They're coming back in. Here comes the bullet time, ripping the back line apart. They will find the first blood on the Elite first. Here comes the Shen, though. Don't know if they can really do anything as Candleburn is going to teleport down. Remember that she arrived before the fight ended, so this is going to go all Asterisks all the way as they look to siege down the bot tier 1.
5-man strong from Team Asterisk over in the bottom side. Only pick up one tower play. Looks like they are going to rotate over towards the dragon right here. Don't have their minion wave. Yep, they're going to go for the Cloud Drake instead. But Callisto aren't done. They're going to want to try and compete this. Cass does have the ultimate available, but yep, she's not going to contest this.
I don't know if you noticed this, but the reason they hard forced that play with Candleburn TPing down is because Foxy recalled. Foxy wasn't on the map. Traditionally, you could cancel Candleburn's TP by throwing the W down and like, okay, you're not going anywhere, you're going to stay here in the lane with me. But the moment the Rumble arrived, you lose the fight because there's Equalizer there and you can never fight on top of that.
Yeah, the 3v3 actually did look decent.
Yeah.
At the start, you could see Vicky really really a veteran. I think very experienced at playing the Xayah. You could see how she laid down the feathers because she knew that she was going to be able to land a very good E onto the MF. So she kind of threw the Q out at the last second, rooted the MF. It looked like things were going well for them at the start, but I think once Asterisk called all 5 members down, it was just GG.
It looks good until, like you say, you know, Mio arrives and so does Kendo, and you can't fight that anymore. And Kendo could actually solo kill Foxy if she lands double harpoons.
Oh no!
Here comes Clara, like we said, needs to land the hook before the kill connects, and here
comes
Boozy with a great flash in. They're looking to isolate down Kendo, and she will flash out as well. Kendo manages to get out, throws the equalizer in response, looking for the Flame Spirit to finish off the kills. Foxy's here to support the jungler, and they will be able to eat some fruits, get the vitamin C, and heal up.
Yeah, that was nice from Corrin. Had the spiderlings as well to just kind of block the Q from Thresh, but really good sidestepping all around. But yeah, good on Callisto for not dropping any member in that fight. But yeah, really good flash taunt engage from Boozy though. It does mean that Shen isn't going to have the flash. It's not the end of the world. As Shen, when you don't have flash, it pretty much only means that you don't have flash taunt available, because in general you're in the front, you're a bit tanky. It's not the most important spell for you. It's not the end of the world.
It really isn't. As long as you are in a proper position, and when I say proper, you're not like diving the back line, right? You could still use the taunt to sort of peel for your carries, as it were. That being said, there is a timer on the Elise. Traditionally, Elise has value in the early game, but she sort of more or less becomes a cocoon machine in the mid to late game, because she cannot isolate and assassinate carries without a lead. So right now she's 0-1 and 0. She's going to be doing minimal damage in fights to both the MF as well as the Rumble. In fact, she wouldn't even want to walk up to them. All she wants to do is throw cocoons, throw Qs and Ws from range.
Yeah, pretty much like the Lee Sin bots is what happens towards the mid and late game.
Well, Lee Sin still can insect people, right?
Yeah, it's the Q. You need to land the Q and go in, but you're pretty much a QR bot.
You are a QR bot. At least becomes a QE bot. Itemization coming in from everyone. They're starting to pick up their first core items and set pieces of their second core items already. Looking like Cannonburn will go for the full Magic Pen build, which is great. Oblivion, Orb, and Sorcerer Shoes. The math for you is that if your opponents have 30 or less magic resistance, you're almost doing true damage to them with these two items.
Whew.
So as long as no one on the side of Callisto has Merc threats, you are doing essentially true damage.
Yeah, and it's very efficient, pretty much into about the 2.5 third item buy from the other team is just generally when they do pick up the Merc Treads. And this game a lot more even than the previous game. We're almost about 17 minutes in. Goal difference actually close to just 1,000, just all across the board. Most of the lanes are even, except for that big CS difference over in top and a bit in the jungle.
I don't think that Callisto can fight this. The Rumble is actually powered up. If they get caught, the Equalizer will just melt them. So you should just buy space for Vicky to push up bot lane and concede the Rift Herald here. It's completely back up, it's fine. Eat the damage from the Equalizer, concede your loss.
Oh, that burn. That's a 1/3 half health.
True damage, baby.
Just on a core, and that's gotta hurt. And now Asterisk's gonna 5-man collapse into the mid.
Man.
Oh no!
Foxy getting caught out, having to pop the barrier. She was afraid of getting burst down. The core is going to get pulled in by the Mordekaiser. Remember that Rift Herald was popped, and right now, because they have 5 members in mid, they could actually just walk it down. Getting 1 charge already, and a decent wave behind means that they could possibly get a second here. Ramping up, Shelly is going to find additional value for the side of Asterisk as they get pulled in, and this is going to be a horrendous situation coming in right now. The box on the back line, they already find Foxy, and they're looking for a bit more here as Lustrous falls very low. Will eventually go down to the turret. So it's a 1-for-1 trade mid lane for jungle, but in the bot and top side, they actually open up the map quite a bit. Boozy Life is doing a good deal of damage on the top tier 1, and Xayah has already picked up the bot tier 1. So Vicky, decent gold in her pockets because all that is just solo gold donated to the AD carry.
Yeah, that was really not what Asterisk wanted to do at that point. You can see right now, Busy Life going to pick up the top tower, has the minion wave and all their gold going on to Corn as well. They're going to pick up the next dragon with the help of Decor and Vicky. I think Asterisk played that a bit fast and loose.
Yeah.
Yeah, it all looked really good once they had Foxy blow the barrier, but it was really no point to push things too far. They've been doing so well up until this point. They've been playing so methodical. They've known where to go. They've known where to rotate. They've known when to, like, for example, rotate bot, how to play against the Shen. Up until that point, they did very well. I would say
the second charge in itself was a value play already. They're like, okay, we got a second charge, guys. This is like more than we could ever ask for. Let's back off. And then they landed the hook in the pose and they're like, can we go for more? I don't think so. And yeah, like you said, a bit too sloppy.
People taking the tower shots, Lusterless going down, Aya taking that one extra shot, falling really low.
Asha's going to be moving towards the Gargoyle Stone Plate second item, which is not too bad because she's going to be in the middle of the fights consistently. Her job right now is clear. EQ, try to pick up the Casio or the Xayah if you can, and then a Cataclysm, right? Hold on, Core is going to get hooked in. I don't think she's going to make it out of this one. Even though Petrifying Gaze was used by Foxy, the bullet time should be able to give Aya the kill credit here. So 3-0-0, the AD carry of Asterisk holding all of the kill bounties right now as the hook is going to land once more. They're going back in. A great knockup here coming from Lusterless, but the equalizer is not available. So this might be pretty tricky for Asterisk if they stay here. Flashes being expended from the side of Callisto as everyone backs out. Boozy Life already finding Kara, but they will lose two members here as Vicky should fall to Mayonnaise as she arrives. The Mordekaiser is doing so much work. They will find the ace here because there was the Mordekaiser there. They will be able to pick up mid tier 2.
Yeah, Asterisk finally bringing their top laner down to join in their fight, making all the difference. We were saying how before Asterisk picked up the before they picked up Shelly, there wasn't much of a goal difference between these two teams, and most of the goal difference was actually over in the top side because Mordekaiser has been able to get that much more ahead over the Shen. So with that teleport into the fight.
Mayo might have to be careful here. She's actually the one that's dealing the most damage because, like I alluded to during the leash, the passive on the Darkness Rises for Mordekaiser shreds objectives right here. As long as you can get the passive up consistently, you are doing like 3% max HP every second you're standing next to the Baron.
Yeah, this game is pretty scary for Callisto right now. Pretty much when they roam around in the jungle, if you get hooked by a thresh hook, you're dead because Asterisk is just going to follow up and jump you and burst you straight down. It's pretty much what's going to happen. As we saw earlier,
they have to understand that like it's not just one speed that they're team fighting at. They have to be able to walk out as well. Ideally, you want to bait out Candleburn's equalizer before re-engaging because there's so much value if you commit and Candleburn just lays it hard and fast on top of you.
Yeah, that's a huge chunk of the Team Asterisk damage because as you were saying, Jarvan is actually building Stoneplate. We've been seeing in a bunch of these fights. Actually, Luster's, when she goes in, she's died once, but she does get bursted down fairly fast. The thing is, with this build, Jarvan doesn't have a lot of burst damage. So as we were saying, the majority of the burn is coming out from the Rumble as well as the MF. So if you can bait out the Rumble R, you have a pretty good chance of taking the team fight after that. That is how Callisto will be hoping to play this. Right now they have 5 people trying to... Yeah, they can't defend their tier 2 tower, especially not against the 4 members strong from the Team Asterisk. They've got Aya as well, and then because they have the Baron buff as well as the Baron empowered cannon minion, yep, they are going to back off. We're going to rotate towards mid where Candleburn is just actually soloing the minion wave.
It's okay, she has Baron buff, so like...
She has no flash. Yeah, they do have that longer range, but it will be a 5v4 right here.
Foxy isn't respecting the range, or rather
of the engage,
right?
from
she
Asterisk.
She keeps walking up, and that's the part that scares me because...
She has no flash.
She has no flash, and she is the major counter engage. So how you perceive the best fight to work for Callisto is you bait out the Rumble Equalizer and they decide we already committed, so we have to back off now. And then you bait the fight again. If they hard connect a fight and they handshake it, you use the Petrifying Gaze to turn the fight around. So if Foxy dies first, there is no window for him to turn the fight around. Right now.
Claria trying to look for a hook over the
fishing,
wall.
Right? They don't care.
Literally fishing with the hook. That's what Claria is doing. Corrin has been chunkless around.
Foxy, like we said, no respect for the engaged range on the side of Asterisk and coming in with the flash as well as the Death Realm. They will be able to pick out the jungler soon, I believe. Here comes the bullet time as well. Aya tanking up the turret, so a bit sloppy coming in from Asterisk right now. They need to disengage here. Finally finishing off the structure, and Mayo is the front line for the team. Look at the damage she's outputting. They have absolutely no fear on the side of this top laner, and now they will be able to open up the inhibitor and be able to walk to the bot lane as well if they can find the space.
Yeah, death timer is around 10 to 20 seconds for 4 members of Callisto. Team Asterisk is going to take a very measured option right here and push out their bot side. Meanwhile, Vicky1 is just trying her hardest to clear the minion creeps over in the mid lane. It's kind of the only time where you can venture out of your base when you're someone from Team Callisto right now, because you know that Team Asterisk has just backed off. Yeah. You want to lay down as much vision as you can. Thinking about vision is looking at the bottom side minimap. So many Asterisk wards in the bottom side blue jungle is going to enable them to take that dragon very easily as well. Are going to recall and finally spend all that gold. Gonna come back in for what might likely be the very last push and team fight of this game.
And if you're Asterisk right now, you don't really have to send Mayo to the top side. You can just put her in mid and escort the wave in. It becomes very tricky to clear these sort of super minions when Mayo is there just guarding the wave. Instead, they will be committing to top. So I think the play here is you put Mayo in mid and 4 members top. And see if you could split the pressure on the map between mid and top.
Was that a sniffle?
Yeah. It's the COVID-19
oh my god.
Just secretly being spread in the FSL office.
Oh
I'm
my
a sleeper
god.
agent. Nah man, I'm messing around.
I get so paranoid in public right now when people like sneeze
Fun fact,
or cough.
you are also a germaphobe, so it's twofold.
Yep. No, like even if there weren't the coronavirus, when people sneeze in public, I get paranoid. Like even before all of this went down. I was like, wait, why are you out? Why are you sick?
Okay, so they will commit 5 top, but like I said, it's slightly better to put Mayo in the mid lane because then you have full wave pressure, and if they don't respect you, you could almost always get the wave into the Nexus turret range.
Yeah, Mayo does have teleport, so it's going to be soloing the bot side. The thing though is that because Callisto St. Cord versus the Mord matchup, it's not really I'm not really too sold on this. Mayo's just going to really easily auto attack the bot side inhibitor tower to pick it up. Yeah, and Vicky is going to back off right here. I think Callisto look to be making their last stand over in their base.
The Elise to deal with it.
Exactly, I'm not sold on that matchup. Why is it Elise versus Mord?
Because they assigned the wrong person to defend against the Mordekaiser that gives them the bot and inhibitor turret for free. In an ideal world, it's Foxy against Mayo in the bot lane, right? And then you use the aggro of the turret to defend. Basically, you just trade and Mayo can't hit you back because of the range differential.
Yeah, Asterisk really going by the book for this one to close out this game. Picking up another Baron. Yeah, they've already got all 3 lanes pushing
27-minute Baron
them.
again?
Yep. 26:57. They saw game 1 and they're like, you know what? We'll do you one better.
27:03. Oh, hold on. Equalizer coming down. Probably might just burn Corn down as she has to flash away. The heal was used by Vicky as well. The Blade Caller will stall them in the push, but right now I think the resets are coming through. Mayo understands, okay, I can buy now. I'm going to get the Nashor's Tooth. If I play with my team, there is a high chance we'll probably be looking to finish off this game with this Baron. But instead, she will be just walking out. There you go.
TP, finally.
Making the wave invulnerable, and now getting rooted up though. Mayo in a tricky position. This has to be the last fight coming in from Callisto. If they don't make the last stand here, they will be losing inside the base. So they have to do something here as Cord is still fishing with the cocoons, and the pull in from Mayo will not connect either. Finally escorting the wave back in. You can see the aggression coming through. They're going in finally as Death Realm will come out. Decor though in a very poor position. At the back line, it is the stun coming in. Foxy now getting caught out once more, and this Cassiopeia might just die here. Vicky using the Feather Storm, and I think the side of Callisto is just scrambling to stay alive. It's not about fighting anymore, it's just staying alive in these fights. And Asterisk making quick work of this second game, 28 minutes in with a 13,000 gold lead. Everyone on the roster firing on point.
Yeah, 13,000. Absolutely ridiculous goal lead by the end of this game. And I think the thing that impresses me the most is just how easy the Team Asterisk made this game look. Because, I mean, when you go back to CS, you're saying Canada and she's playing the Rumble. It's not really her type of play style, but I'm sure they must have practiced this. The thing is, when you watch them play in those 28 minutes, they look so measured, so in control of the game. There weren't those big, flashy plays, but yet every single person knew what to do at every point in the game, and they just slowly closed out. And suddenly, at the 28-minute mark, you're like, wait, they're 13 gold to hit. How did the
13
game...
goals.
13,000? Oh my god, 13,000 gold to hit. How did this happen?
I feel like as a unit, you're talking or alluded to the idea of them playing together for so long. There were very precise calls made at multiple points where they decided to use Rumble Equalizer to zone and chunk as opposed to team fight. They're like, if we can chunk them off and they can't contest us, we don't even have to fight anyway, right? So that's the clean play, and that's the measure that we want to see in this sort of like evolution of play. Like I said, I'm critical because it's the third rendition of FSL League of Legends. When it comes to the quality, it should be going up, and I think Asterisks are so far hitting the right marks.
Yep, definitely. With that, guys, I think we are going to go for a very short break before we come back with game number 3. It is going to be Corgi's Butt versus a JMCRZ. I love these names,
that's a
man.
mouthful, man. I'm just gonna... well, I'll figure out how to like condense it into a very nice way after the break. But for now, like Jenny said, we'll be going for a short break. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back.